Laura Bicker reporting from Memphis, Tennessee. You've been listening to the newsroom from the BBC World Service with me, Luke Jones. Our main headline, at least 600 people are still missing in Sierra Leone after a huge mudslide engulfed a whole settlement on the outskirts of the capital, Freetown, on Monday. Don't forget, you can get more from us on the Global News Podcast. But from me, goodbye.
You're with the BBC World Service, where every month World Questions aims to give you some answers.
Debate, argument and discussion as our audience puts questions on the big issues of power, influence and very often conflicting views.
It is very much an effect on the heart of our society.
We are facing the possibility of going over an economic cliff edge. You really go too far. Nobody asked this question.
It will be necessary to act and to deliver.
We have stopped talking to each other as a community. This month, World Questions is in South Africa at a pivotal time in the nation's history. What does the vote of confidence in President Zuma mean for the future of the country? Join Nancy Kachingira in Johannesburg with a panel of politicians and a lively audience as we discuss the issues facing South Africans today.
World Questions from Johannesburg at bbcworldservice.com. BBC World Service. I'm Kavita Puri with Partition Voices. Eyewitnesses describe the weeks immediately after British India split into two independent countries, India and Pakistan, 70 years ago this week. The division brought about savage ethnic violence, but there were moments of remarkable humanity too, as people on both sides tried to protect each other. So join me for Partition Voices after the news.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. The authorities in the Philippines say police have killed 32 people in drug raids in what is thought to be the bloodiest day in President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs. Police said that those killed in the raids north of the capital, Manila, were suspected drug offenders who were armed and resisted officers. Rights groups accused the police of conducting large numbers of extrajudicial killings since Mr. Duterte was elected last year. At least 600 people are still missing in Sierra Leone after a huge mudslide engulfed a whole settlement on the outskirts of the capital, Freetown, on Monday. 400 people are confirmed dead, and mass burials are being held today. The Zambian opposition leader, Hakainde Hichilema, and 5 others have been released from prison after treason charges against them were dropped. Mr. Hichilema was arrested and charged in April after he allegedly failed to give way to President Edgar Lungu's motorcade. Mr. Hichilema insisted that last year's election, which Mr. Lungu won narrowly, was rigged, and says the treason case against him was politically motivated. India says its soldiers have confronted Chinese troops along a disputed border in the western Himalayas, with the two sides hurling stones at each other. Officials say Indian servicemen formed a human chain to prevent an incursion by Chinese forces into territory claimed by India. The authorities in Bangladesh say the number of those killed due to floods triggered by relentless monsoon rains has gone up to 42. More than 3 million people have been marooned and several rivers have passed their banks. Daniel Craig has confirmed that he'll play the lead role in the next James Bond film. In an interview on a US talk show, he revealed he's known for a couple of months, but he also stressed that his 5th appearance as the spy would be his last. BBC News.
August the 15th, 1947, Independence Day for India. An era has ended, a new epoch begins.
BBC World Service. 70 years ago, Britain gave up its imperial rule over India.
A subcontinent larger than the whole of Europe becomes 2 self-governing dominions within the British Commonwealth of Nations. Britain has fulfilled her mission. It is for India herself now to make her destiny.
Even as newsreel celebrated, the partition of the Indian subcontinent into Hindu-majority India and Muslim-majority Pakistan unleashed savage violence among the very people it was supposed to set free. I'm Kavita Puri, and this is Partition Voices.